Nishyam Sthavitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Virupakata Vihyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vande Ram Shri Guru Sri Yudhapadakamam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sahajanatam Sahajana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Shrivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Pajasaritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagrita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Giri Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Shubhadaya Krishna Shai Bhuteshwar Now Prabhu will read out something about Grhasta-ashram.
The Sanskrit word Grhasta is the composite of Griha and Sta. Griha means home, family or house. And Sta means devoted to or occupied with. So the combined meaning, Grhasta-ashrama means being devoted to family or simply householder life. Grihastha is a part of ancient Hindu concept called Chatur Asrama, that is 4 ashramas. These 4 ashramas is meant for the joyful accomplishment of our gods. These stages are intended for the joyful accomplishment of 4 goals of life called Purushartha. The first goal is Dharma, which means piety, morality and duties. Second, Artha, wealth, health, vocational skills, our material academics. And the third one, Kama, love, relationship, desires, emotions. Next is Moksha, liberation, self-realization or Krishna consciousness. Grihastha is considered to be the most intense of all 4 stages, where a man or woman pursues all 4 goals of life with greater emphasis on the first 3, that is Dharma, Artha and Kama. In contrast, Sannyasa is the stage where the individual renounces Artha and Kama and pursues Moksha with a single-minded pursuit. The stage Grihastha, starting from 25 to 50 years, is preceded by Brahmacharya stage, starting 0 to 25 years. That is normally one lifespan is 100 years. So 1/4 is for each stages. Followed by Vanaprastha, retirement or mentor to the next generation. Stage it from 50 to 75. A man or woman ended in Grihastha stage after wedding would build a home, raise a family, earn wealth, enjoy worldly life, and give taxes to nation, donation to temples and sages, charity to needy, sick and orphans. Grihastha also have to follow 5 great rituals, Panchamaha Yajnas, that are as follows. Brahma Yajna, that is study of Vedas, meditation, prayers. Deva Yajna, offering, sacrifice and oblations to various Devatas. Pitru Yajna, care of parents, old and aged peoples. Sraddha, to ancestors. Bhuta Yajna, service to poor and weak, even plants and animal kingdom. Aditi Yajna, hospitality to guests and sages. Aditi Devo Bhava, guest is God. We must take good care of our guests to get good deeds in our life. As per Chandogya Upanishad and Vedanta Sutra, the fourth stage of life from age 75 onwards is sannyasa or ascetic life. However, the Grhasta-Dharma is considered as the noblest because not only does the householder performs the duties recommended for all four ashramas, they have to work hard to produce food and various necessities on which people in other ashramas survive. Brihadaranya Upanishad specify only three stages of human life: Brahmacharya, Grhasta, and Vanaprastha. I think last time Jagasash Prabhu told that Pushti Marga is following that. Currently, in majority cases, just two stages only, Brahmacharya and Grhasta. And in my case, it is reversed. Grhasta, then I came to the Brahmacharya. And I think that many of our generations like that. We are coming to the Brahmacharya after Grhasta. All three stages are recommended as path to Brahman realization. In ancient times, there are incidents of ascetics, except Kanyadan, have progenies in their sannyasa grihasthasrama. Many sannyasis, saints, has married during their sannyasasrama, and they begot progenies. Grihasthasrama is the foundation for all ashramas and essential to the existence and continuation of the society, because other three ashramas do not produce offsprings. Vishnu Purana states, when the studies appropriate to the Brahmacharya ashrama have been completed, he or she received blessings. After receiving the blessing from the Guru, let them enter into the order of Grihastha life. Let them pursue and obtain by ethical ways home, spouse, wealth, etc. May discharge their duties to the best of their ability and affordability. They should satisfy the soul of their ancestors with tarpanam, the devas with oblation, guests with hospitality, acharyas with holy study, the progenitors of mankind with progeny, sages with reverence, and all the world with words of truth and charity. The most complex duty of a householder is parenting. I am little mentioning about the parenting also. Then the rest she will do. The most complex duty of a householder is parenting, which is the process of raising children and providing them with protection and care in order to ensure their healthy development into adulthood. Here are some exemplary snippets for we parents to learn from our legendary epic Mahabharata. Be it surrogated, adopted, or even stepchild, raise them like our own child. All this seems really modern style of childbearing. This was present in Hindu society for a very long time. All the 100 Kauravas were test babies. Balram was surrogated child. Pandavas were Devas fathered children. In fact, Nagul and Sahadeva were stepchildren from Madiri, but were raised by Kundi. We all know Kundi loved both of them just like Bhim and Arjun and Yudhishthira. Karna was adopted by Bhishma's charioteer Adhirathan and his wife Radha. Even Lord Krishna was raised by Yashoda, who was not his biological mother. But none of them were ashamed of their children or discriminated with them. Even the society never criticized them for not being born a normal way. They were praised or criticized later only for their acts and decisions. A child is a child, whether it is our stepchild or adopted child. In modern world, parents with their surrogated, adopted or stepchildren feel insecure and anxious because of the societal pressure. So we must learn from these characters how to raise our children with compassion and love. Our nurturing will reflect in our child's achievements eventually. If we learn, our children also will learn. Abhimanyu was in the womb of Sumadhura when Arjuna was explaining her how to enter and exit from Chakravyuh. In later years, during Mahabharata war, when Chakravyuh was formed by Guru Dronacharya, Abhimanyu was able to enter the formation because he heard it when he was inside his mother's womb. This is called modeling behavior, which means children learn to do things by listening and watching others. Specifically, in initial years, children learn by listening and watching their parents. Parents must keep on gaining new skills because our children are always observing us, even during adolescent years. If we want our child to live a skillful and positive life, then we need to start learning new skills and enjoying our life as well. Our children will observe and imitate us. Let our children face the consequence of their acts. Talking about Dhritarashtra, we see he was born to teach the world how exactly not to raise child. The biggest weakness in Dhritarashtra is something mostly we parents have these days. The lack of patience to let our children face the consequence of their acts. Our children will never. Where I stopped? Talking about the Dhritarashtra, we see he was born to teach the world how exactly not to raise a child. The biggest weakness in Dhritarashtra is something mostly we parents have these days. That is lack of patience to let our children face the consequence of their acts. Our children will never magically realize the mistakes and its consequence on their own. We need to let them face the consequence of their acts. The more we protect their wrongdoings, the more they feel invincible and entitled. This way, we are not safeguarding our children. Instead, we are raising the most vulnerable persons. Such kids cannot survive in the absence of their supporters. We know what happened when Duryodhana was in his own in the battlefield. He had best army, best warriors, but all the protection made him vulnerable. When his self-entitlement and invincibility was broken, he got deluded and lost the war. Next, learn to find mistakes in our own child as well. Dhritarashtra had all the rebuttals to blame others for the mistakes of his own children. This is typical reactions of permissive parents who think letting the children do whatever they want is freedom and modernization. I don't mean our children are always wrong, but if we think my child is fine, he or she won't commit mistakes or do bad things, then our children will never learn to overcome their weaknesses. Our children are human beings and therefore are prone to commit mistakes. The sooner we accept it is better for the children too. We don't want to listen, not because we are afraid of our children's self-image is being get hurt, but it is our own ego and insecurities don't want us to accept that there is indeed something wrong with our child. Never force our dreams on our children. Dhritarashtra always wanted to be the ruler because he was the eldest of his generation. But because he was blind, so his younger brother Pandu was coronated as king of Hastinapur. Dhritarashtra was aware that the eldest son of Pandu will be the eldest of the coming generation, and which makes him the rightful heir to the throne. But Dhritarashtra fueled his eldest son with his own ambition. He wanted Duryodhana to accomplish his dream of becoming the king of Hastinapur. For our children, nothing is more important than our approval and appreciation. When our child is aware that my parents' ambition is my responsibility, it becomes the matter of honor for our child. Honor is extremely sensitive subject for a child, especially during preteen years. It is okay for our children are following the right path to fulfill our dreams, but just because they are working hard for our dreams, do not allow them to take the wrong and unethical route. Teach them what we know, pass them our wisdom and knowledge, but not burden them with our dreams. Let our children explore and choose their own dreams. Read the signs if our children are acting antisocial, plotting a murder at a young age, speaking disrespectfully to elders, stealing what belongs to others. Well, Duryodhana has done it all, and yet he was never punished. I understand parenting is hard. It seems easier to criticize than actually handle criticism. But it is hard to see the signs whether our child is turning into an antisocial individual. It is not about bad influence, it is about morals. Shaguni was definitely bad influence for Duryodhana. But why Duryodhana kept listening to Shaguni? If it is out of respect, then he should have listened to his great-grandfather Bhishma or his Guru Dronacharya. We cannot control people our children speaks with. All we can do is to make our children wise enough to understand what is ethical and what is not. If Duryodhana had made it clear to his children, if Dhritarashtra had made it clear to his children that poisoning Bhima is severe crime and is absolutely not acceptable, then Duryodhana would have not listened to Shaguni again. If we want our children to learn, first we have to learn to say no to our children's mistakes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is the continuation of Prabhu. Now, Prabhu just read about the normal, about the Grhasta life. General thing about the Grhasta. Now we can see how through Krishna consciousness, how we have to raise our children, what the Grhasta has to, how Grhasta has to do. That we can little bit of we can see. So, what is Grhasta? Prabhu has already mentioned. Grhasta, one who lives in the family. Are we Grhasta or Grihamedis? What is Grihamedi? We are not Grhastas, is it? We are trying to become Grhastas. We are not Grihamedis. What is Grihamedis? They are always looking for some sense enjoyments. Their life is always, they want to enjoy sense gratification. I know my face is covering, sorry. I am not able to hold the mic and the laptop together. That's
Okay, then I can do it.
So, what is our duty as a Grihastha? What is our duty as a parent? What is our duty? That we can see through a little bit of. So it's in Krishna consciousness. Parenting is an integral part because we are always keeping Krishna in the center and doing our things in the day-to-day life. So, and we are grooming our children. So, when we groom our children in a Krishna conscious way, that will make a huge impetus in the society. They can become a big preachers and they can change so many people. And also their family is strong. How the family will come strong? We heard that a family who prays together stay strong. So, same way, if the family is together in doing everything, all the sadhana or reading together daily, all these things, then it will become very strong, and that it will become great preachers. How we cannot become preachers if we don't follow the achar and prachar. If we follow the thing, then it will have effect in our preaching. So, entering into a Grhasta life. So, there may be some bachelor devotees also. So, it's not easy to enter into a Grhasta life. There is a lot of responsibility. So, we are taking the responsibility of Grhasta life to set an example also. And we should not neglect our duty as a Grhasta. And also, what is our duty? Even in Grhasta life, the spirituality is our main duty. So also, we householders, normally Grhastas, we normally don't keep our children engaged. We also should require some recreational social life. It should develop suitable means such as spirituality based social gathering. Normally what we do is we are always busy, so sometimes we forget our kids and all these things. So suitable engagements with the world is also often important part of both personal growth and outreach preaching. So normally we are, when we are into Krishna consciousness, we are always become small only with the society. We never become mingled with the other people. But that is also not correct, because we want more, we want to reach to many people. For that we have to company. We should not forget our things, but we have to mingle with others also to make them devotees. So preaching without practical example is not very effective. So we have to such an exemplary household life, so that others also will learn from that. We should be role model as a Grhasta. So what is the foundation of family life? What is the foundation of family life? It derives strength from transcendental sound vibration. So even if we are Grhastas, what is the main duty? Shravanam and Kirtanam, that is the main purpose, main thing in Krishna consciousness. We have to daily hear Krishna Katha, chant our rounds, always hear the Maha Mantra. So we have to know what is our duty of all the Krishna conscious parents, and how to effectively accomplish. We not only that, we should know our duties, how we can accomplish it through our sadhana and within the community of the devotees. So only if we are strong enough, then only we can spread it to others also. Now we can see how we can do that through the acronym called SMART. Hopefully that will help all the parents to understand in our day-to-day life. What is SMART? What is the spelling of SMART? S-M-A-R-T. The SMART approach may also help parents evaluate themselves in a periodical basis. So if we know what is this SMART, each alphabet, then we will know. We should analyze ourselves always, whether are we doing in the correct path, are we having any mistakes in our sadhana or anything. So if we understand what is this SMART, then we can understand we are in the correct path. So what is the role of Krishna consciousness parent? What is the role of Krishna consciousness parent?
Child also.
Yeah, to facilitate the child's soul towards Krishna. So Krishna consciousness parenting demands, it needs a lot of effort to bring the children into the correct path. We have to be model. Next, we should bring all the dependents into Krishna consciousness. So Bhagavatam also talks about, Rishabhadev talks about the 5.5.8, it says, Guru Nasasya, Swajano Nasasya, Pita Nasasya. That's wrong. What is the meaning? One who cannot deliver our dependents. Even the husband has to deliver the wife. Parents has to deliver the children. Guru has to deliver the disciples, and mother or worshipable demigod. So also Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma. What we had to do? Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naidi Mamedi Swarjana. We had to stop the cycle of birth and death. For that, what we had to do? Everybody can do. Only if we know Krishna and what is the absolute truth. If without understanding Krishna, we cannot stop the cycle of birth and death. So how can one deliver one's dependence if one does not have the qualification of oneself? So we should have the qualification, or we should have the standard of what Rishabhdev is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is firm goal in one's personal life and be committed to pure devotional service. Because if we are not pure, we say no, we have to go to Krishna's abode. Krishna is pure, Chintamani, Dham. We have to be pure. So same way we have to be pure, then only we can make others also. If we are not become pure, if we don't have kama, moha, all these things are there, then we are not pure, then we cannot change our consciousness. So Prabhupada also talks in the Bhagavad Gita. We get all this information. How we will get all this knowledge? Without knowledge, we cannot change our consciousness. How do we get this? We get this knowledge through Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So through revealed scriptures. Also it is told this. When the baby is in the mother's womb, what is the baby praying? Because he is undergoing so much discomfort. So he is praying that I have to come out. Then I will always pray to you, Krishna. That is what, that time baby is in the real conscious. But once he come out, his consciousness is lost because of the entanglement in the material world. To pray to Krishna when he is in difficulty is a natural instinct. We are now also, when any problem comes, we all are praying. But when the problem is, when we come out, we forget sometimes. We are not always, in a difficulty always, we are very strong in prayer. So, because we need Krishna that time. After the deliverance, the child forgets the difficulties of birth and he forgets. That is the effect of illusory energy. Srila Prabhupada also mentions, a very special pious child may fervently pray to Krishna to get out of that situation. This is normal, natural moment of Krishna consciousness. But as soon as he comes out, he forgets. So what is the duty of the parent that time? He is already was in that conscious. When he come out, he forget. That time, the parent has to assist that soul to remember Krishna. Whatever he was getting in the womb, that memory of Krishna, he forgets when he come out. So that time, when he come out, we have to assist. We have to help the child. So actually, we are sometimes devotee children are born into some family. As soon as they are growing very nicely. So actually, Krishna is putting such a child. Maybe that child may be some transcendence who has not complete his proper this thing, and he fell down from his sadhana or something, and he is taking birth into Krishna consciousness family. So it is the duty of a parent to give the Krishna consciousness from very young age. Devotee children are very special. So we can see what is the smart parenting. The SMART acronym refers to 5 essential aspects of Krishna consciousness parenting. First S refers to service, and next is M, that is model. Mahajano Yena Katha Sapanta. The A meant for affection, and R for responsibility, T for stands for teach, train or teaching. So we can see, let's explore about the service first. So parenting is not about proprietorship. We get the children, we are always thinking that my son has to obey whatever we are telling. He is my property, under my control. Always we are thinking that way. But are we really? We are only caretakers only. We are not the real parents. But Krishna, I still remember when I was in the convent school, we used to wait for our parents to come on weekends. So that they will bring that time there was no mobile or something. So we don't have touch with the parents often. Sometimes write letters, that's it. So when they come once in a while, once in a month, and they will bring something to eat. So we will wait for that one day to come. But then when our warden see that all the Sundays we are waiting, she used to tell us, they are not your real parents. First thing when I learned from the convent school, that sisters, is that they are not your real parents. They are just the caretakers. Krishna is your. So when I came into Krishna consciousness, I remember that warden who taught us that really it is correct. So teachings are almost same one. So we are thinking that it is he has to obey whatever I am telling. Of course, we have to teach them, but still there is a limitation because they are also have, according to guna and karma, they also have the free will to do. It's not that we should not care them. Of course, we have to nurture them into spirituality, but we should not become over boosting type. So parenting is also a service. So we have to do it very sincerely. So parent is meant to be Krishna's instrument. So we should not be too much attachment. We are thinking that it's my son, whatever we are telling, they have to obey, and we are so much attached to our children, not only children, family, husband, everybody. So detachment is a part of recognizing that the soul also has a free will. Each soul has tendency for certain behavior that we cannot change. How much ever if we are trying to change them, they will not change. After we can see now also our children grow maybe a certain level, 5 years or 6 years, they will obey maybe. After that they have their own way of behavior, obedience and all this. So they misbehave due to their past material conditioning. So that we have to give that free will of that living entity. It does not mean that we are not caring them. But if we assume the position of material attachment, then the expectations, we are thinking that there is mine. So what will happen is we are expecting also thing out of our love or attachments. Is it real love? No, it's only attachments. So we expectation accelerate. So what we have to do in that time, what will happen is when we are expectation increase, we really forget of giving the spiritual things to the children. We have constantly, even now also, or in our initial stage of our Krishna consciousness, so somebody was there, keep on reminding us for coming for the program, reading Bhagavatam or chanting. It's not that suddenly we become very strong in our Krishna consciousness. No, somebody was behind us. Same way we have to be behind our children to make them to give spiritual life. So we lose our capacity to be the servant. If we are not thinking that way, we are not really the servant of Krishna's hands. We lose our capacity to be the servant, and instead falsely we act as a controller. We are just controllers. We are not the real parent. Next one is what? Now we saw the S part. Models. Mahajano Yanagada Panda. How to accomplish the objective of Krishna consciousness parenting. So everybody have some role models. Mostly the teenagers have the people from the film world, or even spiritual background children, they will have somebody from the spiritual life. Somebody is very fond of some preachers, young preachers. Like many of the children are fond of Amrita Prabhu's preaching, and Kirtaniyas, attracted to. So that way they can become perfect in at least the kirtan or preaching. So we have to set an example, not only for that way. This because if we are forcing our children for anything, we have to take a different act, because maybe my elder daughter may obey whatever I am telling in one way. Maybe the second one may not be the same way. If we have to take different acts to make our children into Krishna consciousness. So to follow some modeling is very important. And also as a parent, they also should see that how we are following our gurus. how we are obeying our seniors. That also they will watch. This is true in the field of parenting as well. Parents should lead by good example. At the same time, we should also be good followers of our gurus and mentors. That will more than we explain or advising them, when we set example, that they will follow more. Because these days children, they will question us. Are you doing? When we tell something, advise something, are you doing that? So that sometimes we will not have any words. Within the Krishna conscious family, there is meditation. So what is the main thing? There is a meditation on sound vibration. Regular hearing and chanting that takes place in our homes. This is the core feature of example setting in. Because when they see, at least hearing, seeing. Not 100% of the children will not follow, but at least we can set an example. In addition, what is also very important is the quality of exchange between the mother and father. We are teaching our children all the stories or whatever is we are reading, everything. But at home, if we are not showing that example of how the behavior between the father and mother, that matters. Because not only the spiritual thing, it also require parents' attachments, parents' love. That is very important. That also plays an important role in the growing of the children's life. That is loving exchange. So they will also know, yeah, I have also to do like that way. If the children, parents are always fighting, then children also will think that will affect the children's life. Beware, loving exchange is more than just the superficial behavior of the parents, but the quality of exchange between them. So we know that whatever we do, children also will do. So we can see that when the children are small, I have seen in my house my elder grandchild, he will chant in his that few 27 beads of the small that mala. This younger one, the second one, there will not be mala in that, but he will take his chanting bag and he will walk around. He will just imitate. So whatever we do, children will imitate. They also want to do aarti. They want to do the fanning, everything. That's good. But slowly they also want to set a separate altar for them. I have seen many of some families' house. They also have different altars, small altar for the children. That's and all is very good. When the child is simply following the behavior of the parent, it is the duty of the parents to gradually train their dependent regarding the quality of corresponding consciousness that should guide their behaviors. So sometimes they will take the fan or charmer or bell, but we have to tell them that is Krishna's things. We should not they will take it and keep it somewhere else, kitchen or wherever they want, will mix it with the toys or what. So we have to teach them that is Krishna's items, we are not supposed to use. We can keep separate things for them. In the early stage of parenting, a child's mimicking behavior, passing more services. If we are giving services that time onwards, from child onwards, they will. But we have to continue in advising them to do, continue in teaching them to do these things, training, until they become a proper Krishna conscious child and Krishna conscious behavior. Next is A for affection or love and attachment. Children should not only feel the devotional atmosphere in the home because of their parents are devotees, but also they should feel a loving atmosphere. That also we have discussed a little bit. Children should not feel the love of or affection towards themselves from their parents, but also they should feel the love between mother and father. We love our children, but they want also to see the love between their parents, or else it will create a problem in their life. Opposite leads disparity between mother and father and forces the child to subjectively. In many of the houses, they used to sometimes when the parents fight, they will take the side of father. You are correct, Amma. Acha is wrong. Like that, or Acha, father is correct, so they will, because what we have to do is we have to stop all these things in front of our children. It will create a lot of problem in their mind. It's difficult to erase from their heart. From Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada elaborated in many of the places. The disagreement between people or between husband and wife is like clashing the bamboo in the forest when the wind blows. So what happened? Because of the wind, the bamboos are clashing each other. There is a big sound, and if you know that it is just because of wind, you will not care much. Same way, the children knows that. Yeah, that is just simply father and mother having some little thing. Because they are seeing that their affection and love each other, that also they are seeing. But they are seeing only the fighting between each other, they will take it seriously. But they are seeing the love between the parents, then they will not. That is why Prabhupada is mentioned that there is a big sound, and if you know that it is just the clash of the bamboos, you don't take it seriously. Similarly, if there is a loving atmosphere, even if there is a disagreement, the child can understand that it is not to be taken seriously. But still it is better to avoid all these things in front of the children. Disagreement will be there. In all the houses, the disagreement will be there. You cannot see any house without any problem. Is it? Everybody's house there will be problem. No father and mother with children. So taking this point in a different context. So if a devotee, newcomer is coming to a temple, and one devotee is behaving very nicely with that devotee, and he goes to another devotee, that devotee is also talking very nicely and taking care of that new person very nicely. But when he move out, then he is seeing that these two devotees are fighting each other. Then he will think, what is this? They behave to me very well, but they are not very good in their behavior. So what should I do? Should I come into this congregation, or I just come and become a regular member, or should I become just a visitor? He can become a visitor, but the child of the house, he cannot become. He has to be in the house. So he cannot run away from the house, seeing the problems in the family. So children may feel the same way with the parents, fight with each other. So as we parents, we must have mutual respect and appreciation for day-to-day life. All the parents, even for small things, that as a Grhasta, that creates a lot of impetus, change in the relationship between the husband and wife. For small things, Prabhupada never, Prabhupada and I remember the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, for small things, they appreciate. Even Guru Maharaj always appreciate for small things. That is very important in the family life, not only to children, even the husband and wife relationship. That will create more love, attachment. We know that attachment is not the attachment in the sense that to understand the other person. If only the life, only we are talking about the spiritual things, not talking anything else other than this, and that will not have any fun in the house. There should be some talk between the loving talk or joyful talk between the husband and wife and children. That is very much required. So mutual respect and appreciation is very much required in the family life. Or else we will not have more intimate relationship. That will help also to feel the protection from the other partner, is it? If we know that when the other person is caring, how we will know that the girl is coming to husband's family? How do we know that protection is from that husband? It is an entirely different house. So when she sees that husband is really caring, she feels the protection. I remember years and back, once the Mahamani Prabhu, the father of Srivalla Prabhu, came into our house once. Then he told us, every day, at least minimum 15 minutes, the husband, wife and children should sit and talk each other. Are we having this talk between each other? Most of the houses, I don't know. There may be, but there are houses there will not, because everybody is running behind preaching. Everybody is having that seva, this seva, office seva, extra office work. Then they will not get time to spend time with the family. There will be families having discussion, whatever they are happening in the office, and they will share each other. So that is very much required for the closeness of the family life. So generally people have material conception of life. They equate love with attachment, but real love is on the platform of detachments. We always say we have to be detached. Detachment normally implies it is not that I don't care or something like that. When the love or care goes to the soul level, we want to make the soul to reach to the real destination. For that way, we have to be always help the soul to reach the correct destination. It is not based on one's position. It's sometimes we may not be very friendly with the person, but we have to see the soul level. One may be not in a big position. One may be very highly educated or wealthy. We should not see the person into that level and help. We have to see the person's soul and help that soul to reach to Krishna. Then we can give the right kind of love towards to all. Also as a parent, this is one of the essential key to the art of detached caring. So when we discuss about detachment, does not mean that we are not caring that person. We have to care our children also. Sometimes they may not obey us, they will be talking back, but we have to think about we may have sometimes upset, but it's not about we are not caring them. We have to care about them by helping them to go back to Krishna. The soul has to reach back. Next is the responsibility. What is the responsibility of the parents? Parenting is not easy. It's a very hard and difficult job. Very high responsibility, is it? So, although it is very rewarding when properly done. Lord Rishabhadeva's sons, they all did not become Grhastas. Some were the preachers. So, those who did not become Grhastas, they took the position in the society where they were giving shelter to others. So sometimes we are thinking that our guru is there, there is a spiritual master is there. They are taking much responsibility. For those who have we should not take it easily. The spiritual master we should not think that spiritual master will deliver us. The children should not think that the parents will deliver us. No, we have to, and we will just do whatever we want. If we are not following the orders of the spiritual master or Prabhupada, do we able to go back to Godhead? No. So we have to take responsibility by ourselves. So as a parents, we have to teach our children also to take responsibility in their life. But however, everyone who accepts a dependent has responsibility. So we all most of the grahastas, we have the responsibility to take our children to take back to Krishna. We cannot say that I don't know how to take care of my children as a parent. We cannot. As grown-up people, we should have. Next one is training or teaching. Training children in Krishna consciousness is one of the most important aspects of parenting. How we can make training from childhood. What we have to teach? To chant. Transcendental sound vibration should be the foundation of such a training. At home, we have to make such a situation that we are doing our sadhana clearly, properly, and reading daily reading or hearing. Then all these things matters. That is the main thing in training to the children. Even in the pregnancy time, we always say to read the third canto or to attend all the classes. Nowadays, all these samskaras is there. Maybe in our times, we couldn't do all these samskaras just like that. But we are thinking that, okay, we should have become a Krishna conscious devotee from that time onwards. Because nowadays, all the children are, from the time they are born, they are seeing all these things and they are growing very nicely. But in that time, it was not like that. Okay, it was the starting of our life, and we are acting like a normal Grahamedi life. That is what we were also doing. Now, actually, we are fortunate, so fortunate that we are into Krishna conscious Grhastas. So we can see the example of Prahlad Maharaj. because of the sound vibration, whatever he heard, his father was not a devotee. But when he was in the mother's womb, he could hear the Srimad Bhagavatam from Narada Muni. So that sound vibration made him to change his consciousness, and he become. We always talk about the teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. So many teachings, so many prayers of from the Srimad Bhagavatam we are hearing. So if we are teaching at least a few glorification of Krishna to the Lord, to our children, anytime they can recite. So that and all, we cannot make our children Prahlad or Dhruva or something like that. It's not possible. It's highly elevated level. But at least from very young age, we can teach the slokas, even if they don't like. I know my Prahlad sometimes on Saturdays is very lazy to sit in Parvati Mataji's class. Today I don't want, still I force him to sit. But that force, I remember once Krishna Prabhu told that when his childhood, his grandmother used to make him run to the nearby temple before going to school. That is compulsory. Go pray and come to the temple and come like that. So he was telling, see, all these such things, even the small thing, whatever we do, Krishna is not going to forget. So all these things, whatever we are teaching to our children, that will help in their future. So all these prayers about the Prahlad prayers or Dhruva prayers, so many prayers in the Bhakti class. So we have learned so many prayers. But what we have to do, we have to revise. We have to keep on revise. We have to keep on remind our children, even as elders. We are keep on forgetting many things after the class. Whatever we had, we forget. So especially to the children, maybe they may remember better than us, but still we have the duty to remind them about Krishna. So because of the grace of Narada Muni, he became great Mahajana, one of the Mahajana. So Bhagavatam has many prayers. So sound vibration makes a very important role in Grhasta life, in everybody's life. It makes easier for the parents to prepare in advance, but whatever the stage is, whether mother is father come into Krishna consciousness before the marriage or early stage of marriage, after they beget children, the principle is to observe in regular strong sadhana. Whatever stage we are in, we have to have sadhana. Without sadhana, we have every chance to fall down. Srila Prabhupada also taught us that children should be trained in such a way that they have to become first class children, first class character. Whatever the skills they may have, they may be good in preaching, they may be good in good kirtaniyas or whatever, or academically they may be good. But if they don't have the good character, there is no use, is it? Sometimes we normally say in our, he may be one person, maybe as a collector, very good educated. If they don't know to behave well, then what is the use of that character, that education? But whereas a beggar come to our house and behave well, though he don't have any education or nothing, but if they are behaving well, we think that beggar is better than the collector. So same way, when we are into Krishna consciousness, we should not neglect that to make our children as a good human. That is the best, the important thing. So a very nice example from scriptures in the concern that Yudhishthira Maharaj had when Maharaj Parikshit was born, when they did Jata Karma ceremony. The priest who did the horoscope spoke highly about Maharaja Parikshit's future. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was very happy, but he wanted to know whether he will follow the ancestors. We also know from our childhood, that time, in my age, that time the children, we used to have more respect and love towards our grandparents and elders. But because maybe these days the parents are away from the family, they are staying alone with only father, mother, children, they don't know to show the respect, they don't know to show the obey the grandparents, elders. So that is the duty of the parents to teach all these things to our children. One may have good qualities, but those qualities can spoil by not following great souls. So that is what we have to follow our Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. By seeing them, they will also have some change in their life. So concluding, remarks is, you can see, in the 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, Krishna speaks about to Arjuna about items of knowledge or divine qualities. Srila Prabhupada writes, best process for making at home pleasant is what? To make the home pleasant, what is the best thing we can do? Krishna consciousness. To become with Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, everything is there. Chanting is there, dancing is there, eating prasadam. Everything is there in Krishna consciousness. So that is the best way to become pleasant in to make a pleasant, happy home. So Srimad Bhagavatam, and engage oneself in the deity worship. These four things will make everyone happy. One should train the member of the family in this way. The family members can sit down morning and evening if time permits. Nowadays everybody is hurried to go to office or to school. My daughters used to say, there was one time actually we used to sit and read. Maybe till 8th standard, 9th standard. Every day we used to do Arti together. Daily read one sloka together. One will read sloka, then one will do the word by word translation and translation and purport one will read. So that time it all gone amma like that. Yes, after they went for the higher education, they were busy. The younger one will be going for the tuition that time. So from that time onwards, there is no togetherness in praying. Everybody is having different times. I will be doing Arti, he will be doing something else. Nowadays, somebody will be going behind other through. Now, instead of parenting, grandparenting, we are doing now with the 3 kids. So that is what happening. So engaging in Krishna conscious activities together with the family is very important. That is, somebody is doing like that way, that is very fortunate. We have our preaching mission. There have been incidents when the members of our congregation neglect their family responsibilities. That is what it is. Sometimes because of the responsibility of service, we forget our duty at home. That we should not neglect. That is very important to spend time for the family. Unity is very strong. If the unity is very strong, that will see others and then they will ask how your family is happy doing. Because simply by doing the Krishna conscious at home, we are happy. Brahmacharis should be very good brahmacharis. Sannyasis should be very good sannyasis, and Grhastas should be very good Grhastas. And all should collectively and cooperatively preach together from that position of strength. Our children will emulate that same spirit happily and not later stray from the path of bhakti or Krishna conscious they experienced from their family situation. In the foundational practice of bhakti, so foundation we have to do, and we should give a strong foundation to our children. Then there will not be, even if I remember that one of in our olden days, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj used to always visit Abu Dhabi and preach. So one of senior devotee's son, he even in Janmashtami day, he will take fasting. Maybe that time he was maybe 6th standard or something. When we all sit for prasadam and all, no, he will be with his standing. That time he was in 5th or 6th only, that boy. That boy, when he went to college, actually his mother is telling, now my son is not that Karthik, is not that Karthik, when you have seen him so many years back. But I am happy that Maharaj used to tell that even if they are not in this line now, surely they will come back. So we have the hope that surely if we are giving the strong foundation of bhakti towards our children, in the future there will be change. So that's what. So for those, many of the, so how we can, the smart parenting. So we have to check ourselves whether are we a smart parent. So we have to check. We have our Shiksha Gurus, mentors. We have to check with are we in the correct path. So that way we can perfect our life as Grhasta and as parents. Hare Krishna.
Bahurūpa Prabhu ki jai, Sumadhura Mataji ki jai.
Questions this side.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai.
So we are again very fortunate to hear from Prabhuji and Mataji. So we will open the forum for questions. मेरी इच्छा थी कि मैं थोड़ा हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट करूँ हिंदी भाषियों के लिए, बट समय के अभाव के कारण अभी हम हिंदी का जो समरी देने चाहते थे वो नहीं दे पाएंगे. We'll have questions because there are so many questions.
Yeah, give summary. That only the questions will come from this side.
तो मैं बहुत संक्षिप्त में समरी देने की कोशिश करता हूँ. तो इस बहुरूप प्रभु जी ने गृहस्थ बहुत सारी टेक्निकल चीजें बताई जो शास्त्र के अंदर है, कैसे शास्त्र में गृहस्थ होते हैं, फिर ब्रह्मचारी और उनके आश्रम के एज के बारे में बताया, और फिर उन्होंने काफी सारी चीजें पैरेंटिंग के जो महाभारत से उन्होंने एग्जांपल लिया कि किस तरह का पैरेंटिंग होना चाहिए, जैसे कुंती महारानी और भी जो हमारे शास्त्र में एग्जाम्पल्स है, उन्होंने अपने बच्चों को भी अपने जो दूसरे बच्चे थे उनको भी अपने बच्चों की तरह ही पाला है. तो वो एक बहुत सुंदर बात थी. उन्होंने धृतराष्ट्र के बारे में बताया कि धृतराष्ट्र जिस तरह से पैरेंटिंग कर रहा था वो हमको नहीं करना चाहिए, वो गलतियां क्या थी. तो इस तरीके से प्रभु जी ने पैरेंटिंग और गृहस्थ आश्रम के बारे में कुछ बताया, और बहुत सुंदर लेक्चर जो सुमधुरा माता जी ने दिया जिसमें उन्होंने स्मार्ट पैरेंटिंग के बारे में बताया. तो एस जो था वो था सर्विस, कि कैसे अपने को और अपने बच्चों को भी हर समय भगवान की सेवा में नियुक्त करना है, एंगेज करना है. फिर एम जो था वो था मॉडल, कि कैसे हमें भी रोल मॉडल बनना है अपने बच्चों के सामने. हम प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं तो हमको देख के वो सीखेंगे. और फिर अलग अलग अप्रोच, मॉडल का मतलब इस बार होता है कि अप्रोच तरीका, अलग अलग तरीके, हर बच्चे के लिए सेम तरीका इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते, या अपने परिवार में भी और दूसरों के देखते कि उनके बच्चे के लिए जो चला वो अपने बच्चे के लिए भी चलेगा, ऐसा नहीं. तो वो एक था. और ए जो था वो था अप्रिशिएशन, अफेक्शन, हमेशा लविंग एक्सचेंजेस रहने चाहिए. उसमें एक महत्वपूर्ण बात उन्होंने बताई थी कि माता पिता के बीच में भी वो लविंग एक्सचेंजेस होने चाहिए, प्रेममय संबंध होना चाहिए. बच्चों के सामने ज्यादा झगड़ा नहीं होना चाहिए ताकि वो बच्चों को माइंड को करप्ट करेगा. तो ये बहुत सुंदर चीज उन्होंने बताई. अफेक्शन. आर जो था रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, कि हमें किस तरीके से इस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को लेना चाहिए. हर चीज में रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, बच्चों के फिजिकल मेंटल दोनों हेल्थ के बारे में, उनके स्पिरिचुअल एजुकेशन के बारे में वो हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, उसको बहुत सीरियसली गंभीरता से लेना है. और टी जो था वो टीचिंग, तो हमें हर तरीके से टीचिंग भी, मतलब हर तरीके से उनको एंगेज करना है कि वो शिक्षा ग्रहण करें, क्योंकि जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शंस उनको मिल रहे हैं कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस के बारे में, या अपने आध्यात्मिक जीवन के बारे में, अपने एकेडमिक जीवन के बारे में, तो उसके लिए उनको प्रशिक्षण देना बहुत आवश्यक है. तो उसके बारे में बताया. और अंत में बहुत सुंदर चीज माता जी ने बताया, वो था कि अगर आपको घर में खुशहाली रखना है, अगर घर में खुशहाली रखना है तो आपको कृष्ण भावनामृत में आना है. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज माता जी ने बताया. अभी हम ये फोरम ओपन करेंगे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स के लिए. तो प्रभु जी और माता जी से आप जो प्रश्न चाहे वो पूछ सकते हैं. एनीबडी वुड लाइक टू गो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आंसर्स के लिए? किसी का कोई प्रश्न है? अगर नहीं है तो मेरा पहला प्रश्न मैं पूछ लेता हूँ.
Then we can have a nice kirtan from Prabhu ji.
Yes, we'll have. हम लोग कीर्तन साधु कृपा में प्रभु जी से कीर्तन भी होगा, तो हम एक 5-10 मिनट ये क्वेश्चन आंसर्स के लिए देंगे. सो मेरा पहला प्रश्न है माता जी और प्रभु जी से कि who came first into Krishna consciousness? Because you always see that ट्रैक पे दो इंजन साथ में भागते नहीं है. लाइक वन इज अहेड, वन इज बिहाइंड. That is our experience. We have seen कि someone is ahead, someone is behind. So in your case, who was first to come in Krishna consciousness and how?
Both together.
Yes, Guru.
We are made for each other.
Yes, we both have come to Krishna consciousness together only, Prabhu. That time, I was remembering our Shiksha Guru, Balaram Krishna Prabhu, that time. And he was the first person who gave us the Bhagavad Gita class in the Raghu Prabhu's house. So, before coming into Krishna consciousness, I was a Krishna devotee only. But since there was no such association here at that time, one of my friend told that there was Amma's some satsang Satsanga is there, and nice kirtan. I always interested in kirtan, so to listen to kirtan I used to go. But there was no such class or knowledge gained from that association. But I used to simply go and listen to songs. But that time only there was one doctor, Ramchandran Prabhu, Ramchandran. He told that there is a person called Balaram Krishnadas. He's from ISKCON, and so we kept the class in Telugu Prabhu's house. So we attended the class, and I was wondering, he was reading the Bhagavad Gita. That was a Bible edition small book, that black small book. Then when he was reading the sloga and he was telling each word's meaning, I was thinking, oh, he's such a great soul. I didn't know that Bhagavad Gita have the word by word meaning and all. I didn't know that time. I have read Bhagavad Gita, but word by word meaning I have not seen. So from that time onwards, that day we really liked the class very much. And he was actually, he never come into any of the spiritual program because he is basically coming from an atheist family. So whatever at home also, sorry. So because his elder brother used to read a lot of that book. He also used to read. So that is why still he has this argument and all. It's still happening. So then he was also impressed by that class. Then he told, why don't you come to our house next week for the class? Then he came to our house next week. That way it started probably. So we together started the class. Even though I was a Krishna devotee from my childhood, he always tell me that because of me you came into Krishna consciousness. So I used to tell him I was a devotee, but I have to agree that okay, okay, of course, because of him.
Any questions? और किसी का कोई प्रश्न है तो पूछ सकते हैं. हिंदी भाषा कोई पूछना चाहते हैं? एक क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पर. प्रभु जी, you mentioned about 5 yajnas. I wish to mention in the summary. What are those 5 yajnas?
Devayajna, Pitrayajna, Devayajna, Pitrayajna, Brahma Yajna. That is actually because we are into Krishna consciousness, that does not play any important role, because by doing everything, chanting and reading, all these things are automatically get satisfied. No? So that is the Devayajna, Pitrayajna, Brahma Yajna, and Aditi Yajna, and what is the Bhuta Yajna. So normal people, people who is not ISKCON devotees, others, no, they have do all these things. They are thinking that if we are doing that, that is very important things to do. If we are not pleasing our Pitras, or if we are not pleasing our Devatas, or not, of course it might have some benefit. But because we are into Krishna consciousness, everything is solved in Krishna consciousness. We don't have to separately do. But still, I know that as a to the parents, yearly Shraddha ceremony have to do that.
One more question is there. Yes, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Prabhu, since you both are from Kerala, and when we go there or when we hear also there are too much of, they have much enjoyment, there's much, they are more involved in enjoyment in eating non-vegetarian food and tea, coffee and all those things. So after so many years in Krishna consciousness, do you feel that you lack that enjoyment, or how you convince other Keralites?
No, I didn't have any compulsion. All of a sudden, I changed it.
Yeah, actually we initially, when we started our journey in Krishna consciousness, it didn't feel. But when we were going to India, that time we were thinking how we will survive, because every house, we cannot see a house without eating non-veg. But by Krishna's mercy or Guru Gauranga's mercy, our family members were very cooperative. There's that 1 month or 2 months vacation time, they don't cook anything. they separately, not separately, they don't cook anything in their house. But we cannot go out anywhere. No, we don't get anything without onion or garlic or not. So at the time of initiation, only that time I had a little difficulty that if in case we have to travel that time, how we will overcome that difficulty. Then that time our Yatra leader was Srikant Prabhu. He told, you will have the curd, rice will be there, eat curd rice. So don't worry, 3 times you eat curd rice. Do you have any problem? I said, no problem, but it is very important thing, because nowadays in Kerala also there is lot of centers of ISKCON. So there is no difficulty to get even prasadam, or many people are joined in the ISKCON.
एक और कोई प्रश्न है तो?
Nowadays, Gopī, we are getting lot of complaints. You are not giving time to us like this, family. So there is two things. One is here is Krishna conscious engagement and giving time to family. So if it is coming both at the same time, so what will we give the priority?
ഇപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, ഇവിടെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഫാമിലി ലൈഫിൻ്റെ റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, അതിനാണ് പ്രയോറിറ്റി കൊടുക്കുന്നത്.
Give priority to those children. Hare Krishna. In that case, we have to give priority to those children.
Because already
there will be somebody, some other disciples will be here.
There are so many efficient
but who will take care of your children? You alone.
Senior devotees
Who will take care of children? If you are missing here, there is some other devotees here. But if you are missing your children, that means nobody to take care of children. So give priority to children.